right, here's an answer to a question I get asked a lot as far as installing updates for Studio One. It is really easy, and you can install even the incremental updates into their own folders so that you can always go back to a different version to see if you're having a problem with the new version, see if it happened in the old one. So go to your My Personas page, and we're going to click on Studio One. We're going to click on Download. So the download installer, it should show up here in a second. There it is right there. All right. So once you get that, we're going to click on the little arrow here. We're going to say show in folder. So whatever browser you're using, it could be a little bit different. Okay, so let's see. Let me go ahead and expand my view here and bring this thing down. All right, so in the downloads folder, here is Studio One Installer. So it is always a good idea to install this with administrator rights. So we're going to right click. If you're on a Mac, it doesn't matter. But if you're on a PC, this is always a good idea. So let's see. We're going to say run as administrator. And there we go. We get the little warning thing there that Windows is going to run it. Okay, so this is the important part. I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to minimize this. So when this pops up, we're going to click Next. Okay, and then we go through all of this. If you care to read it, good luck to you. And then you click Agree. So now this is the screen that's most important. What we're going to do, you can see that this is going to install it in a default location. So if you've only installed Studio One once, this is going to install the update on top of the current one that you have. It literally only takes a couple of seconds, and it doesn't usually hurt anything. But we're going to click Browse, and we're going to find that default location, which it should be like right there. Okay, so this is where it wants to put it. This is where my original version of Studio One 5 went. But if you look here, you can see that I've installed even all of the little incremental updates into their own folders, and this is important because we want to be able to get back to them. So your Studio One icon, if you have it on your desk like I do right here, this is what we're going to do. We're going to right click and we're going to change this. We're going to rename it, and we're just going to say Studio One 5 Old. And we're going to continue. And there we go. So now Studio One 5 Old. So this is my current version of Studio One. So here in the Personas folder, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to create a new folder. And there's the new folder. I'm going to call this Studio One 5 New. Or in your case, you'll say 5.4 and you'll name the new folder 5.5. But I've already got a 5.5 folder here. So I'm just going to do this for this demonstration. So there we go. There's Studio One 5.5 New. And I'm going to click OK. And now you can see here that this is installing into the Studio One 5.5 New folder. It's going to create a new folder within it. And that's where the new install goes. And you're going to click Install. And it's going to go through its thing, and you're going to see, you should see, or we should see another icon for Studio One pop up here in a minute. All right, it's doing all of this. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to sit through this. It shouldn't take too long. And there it goes. So hopefully we'll see the other icon show up and you'll be able to see. Sometimes it puts it there and sometimes it doesn't. Depends on if it sees this one or not. So let's see. It's going through its thing. So I'm going to have two versions of 5.5 on my machine, which is fine. And there it goes. We're almost ready. Just like that, there we go, and there is the new icon right there. So you will be able to access the original version that you had, like if this was 5.4, and then you have the new version right here, which is 5.5, and you'll be able to access them both. So if you're actually using the new one and you find a problem, you say, boy, did this happen in the last version? You can go ahead and close that and reopen the same song in the older version. And you can even go back further than that if you have all of your different versions installed into their own folders. Now, one other thing that I like to do, and some people don't, you can see that there is a little administrator icon here for my original version. That's not happening with the new version I've installed. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to properties. And I'm going to go to compatibility, and I can choose to have this version run as an administrator. Now, there are some features that where this is required. Studio One doesn't usually require it, but I have found that actually making this active for my Studio One does keep certain things from having issues, like older plugins that I have. So I don't know the details on why this makes a difference, and some people just don't like to have it do that. So this is just an option. This is just something that I do. I just wanted to show it to you. So if you're having a problem, go into your icon and go ahead and make it run as administrator and see if that problem goes away. It might not. But if it does, then you actually have a fix there. So anyway, so that takes care of that. So hopefully you guys got something from all this, and I will see you all in the next video.